The Final Journey workshop that I've created is about empowered end-of-life decision-making for pet parents. I understand that this is not a topic that anybody really wants to engage with unless they feel they absolutely have to. And even then, they may not want to engage with it. I get that. And yet, I want to invite you to look at this a little bit differently. I would suggest that given the fact that all of us that have pets are going to have to focus on this and address this issue at some point, unless, God forbid, we die before our pets do. So given that it's an inevitability, my question is, doesn't it make sense to have some level of comfort, confidence, clarity, familiarity with what might unfold? If so, how do we gain that? How do we learn to know what we need to do? Because there's lots of unknowns that we're not going to be able to even guess until we get there. You know, we don't know whether our pet will have some sort of a cataclysmic accident or a long-term illness or a sudden illness. We don't know. And so how do we know how to approach that? Well, what I would suggest is that, in fact, what we really need to know how to approach is, and become familiar with, is our own relationship with death and how we come to that. Also, I think that if we wait until the very last minute to start to develop a healthy relationship with death, we're just going to be filled with fear and angst and anxiety and dread, because all of our preconceived ideas are going to take over. If we've spent some time and have a familiarity, a sense of peace and a sense of understanding, not that it's understandable, but just a recognition of how to be with it, I think that we have a better chance of being able to approach it in a way where we can stay present so it doesn't scare us. I like to give the example of you know, if you have to go on if somebody says, you're going to have to run a boat and learn how to sail between here and the islands at some point, and you're going to get a knock on the door, and then all of a sudden you're going to have to do this. Pretty sure you're going to want to at least know how to sail a boat before that day comes. Because if you don't, you're just going to be completely panicked and freaked out about it. And the same thing comes with this topic. If we have a familiarity with death, if we have a familiarity with what might be involved, then we have a better opportunity to be able to come to this with some sense of understanding and therefore peace and some more serenity, clarity, and a level of confidence that, okay, I may not have all the answers, but at least I understand the things that I need to look for, to look at, to be aware of. And part of that might even be just making sure that you have people in a support system that can help you. So there's a lot to it, but honestly, if there was a way that I could help you make this journey more peaceful, less stressful, is it something that you might want to explore. If the answer is yes, then come along with me and explore it now, while you can look at it and then ruminate on it, think about it. It's 4.5 hours. It's broken into 8 segments, 8 modules that are somewhere between 20 to 40 minutes apiece. So you can do it in small chunks. You can do it with your friends, talk about it, and then make a decision about whether or not you want to go through it again.